Hi, this is Ron Janish. I'd like to tell you about a new development where we're going to focus on Andrew's most successful technique. Uh, During the course of Andrew's teaching people, he focused for a short period of time on something called the ORE. The ORE is what he claimed to be the most successful technique that he had for finding turning points. See, the problem with the median line is that it sort of finds turning points sometimes and mostly not. And it is very handy in many ways, as are reaction lines, and you know they're proper in their use. But there was one particular technique that Andrews really liked for finding the turning point. And how do I know this? Well, let's read this. Important new method. You can find the position at which you can maximize your profits by use of a method never explained anywhere else. You can now take positions very close to the P extreme, that means the pivot, as shown in the Reasons for Action column of this week's newsletter. This important method is named the older method, being named after a course member whose work as a pastor of a Midwestern Lutheran church, as a citizen, and as a researcher or investigator with an open mind has been outstanding. The line you draw by this method has proven to be the most reliable means from which you can reap outstanding gains from each trend as the market fluctuates in every stock and every future. Okay. And then he goes on down the page where he explains certain things about the older method. And as we look at this, by the way, is in the March 1st, 1974 issue of the course letter. And if someone tells you they have the course with all these wonderful teachings of Andrews, ask them to produce the March 1974 newsletters, because after all, those are the ones that have this wonderful technique. I personally do not know of anyone else that has this besides me. I'm sure there were other people out there who received this newsletter. I don't know if it's still around. Okay, I have the originals. Okay, so here's a scan of the March 14th newsletter, and here once again he shows the ORE method, uh, and here he's talking about using it and other things like that. So, and now what we're doing that's really kind of neat is we're forming an advanced study group that's going to be looking into this method here rather heavily. There's going to be 5 or 6 of us that are going to be doing that. We're considering doing it uh, through the mechanisms of Skype or other things. Uh, and so, if you have an interest, let me know. I'm over at support at andrewscourse.com. And we're going to, really get into it and have a lot of fun. And as this is something very different. Now, you may notice that in Andrew's newsletter, in this right-hand column, sometimes he takes the MLH, sometimes he takes the reaction line, sometimes he takes a mini median line, sometimes he focuses on 0 3s. What I found was in his newsletter he would take like a 3 or 4 month period where he would focus only on a certain technique, or primarily on a certain technique for reversing. So he wanted to show that you could use 0 3 lines alone. He wanted to show that you could use mini median lines. He wanted to show that you could use median lines, etc., etc. And so you could see how the different course techniques are applied. As a course member, you not only have access to our complete library, which is like somewhere up to, let's say, 1,000 pages. We really don't know. We haven't counted them, right? We do know that there's about 400 that we have scanned in that are in the computer that we could give you copies of. That's a no-brainer. That other people are claiming is the entire course and all this good stuff. Uh, Probably not. If those of you who do want to look at this thing and you want to look at this documentation and you don't want to see a web copy, you want to see a real copy, paper and all that kind of stuff, no problem. We can set times up, and all that I ask is that you wear the gloves I give you, because I don't want your fingerprints all over this stuff, okay? And I want to keep it in good condition. So I thank you for your time, and now you've learned that the ORE technique, according to Andrews, was his most successful technique. See ya. Bye.